What's up, YouTube? Hobo Nichol BBQ back with you again, and we're in the hot seat, and today we've got outdoor cooking with Al. What's up, Al?
Not much, bro. How you doing, Chris?
Good. All right, so I see on my computer that the little wheel's spinning, and we're going to have a great ad that shows up here. So I will give everybody, oh, no ad. All right. YouTube must not have liked my video title.
Yeah.
All right, so quick rundown of who's in the chat. We've got Scott in for the grill, Azrael's Pit Barbecue, Quest Hunter at Our Shack Barbecue, Barlow Barbecue, Everyday Barbecue, Christie's Cooking Channel, Dan, Smoky Goodness, Condrel's Kitchen, and if I missed you, I didn't scroll up far enough, so start typing some stuff. All right, so let's get started. Al, where are you from?
Jenny and I, we live in Sandy, Utah. It's about 10 miles south of Salt Lake City, Utah. And I've lived in Utah all my life. I grew up like 40 miles south of Salt Lake, Utah, in Orem, Utah. But Sandy, we've lived here for about 12 years or so.
Cool. I see Meathead, Kent Vanderweerd, and Heavy Metal Barbecue decided to pop in. All right, family life, wife, kids, dog, chinchilla, whatever you got.
Yeah, well, we used to have an iguana, but he got too big, and so I found a good home for him. His name was Kermit. He was about 5 feet long, but that's he's been gone for a while. But yeah, wife, Jenny and I, we've been married since 2009. We don't have any kids together. I have 2 daughters, and then she has 2 sons, and we have 3 grandkids. And life is good. We have a good time. I mean, getting in the outdoors, that's what we love. That's why we do this. Cooking just makes it better. So good times.
Awesome. I see Chris Jarkow hopped in. Probably one of the best comments that I've ever had on one of my videos. So I want to give him a shout out. All right. So Baloney Ring Ranch asked me to ask you what got you into cast iron cooking.
Well, was probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. Jenny bought me a Dutch oven for Christmas because she didn't know what else to get me, and I really didn't know much about it. And I think the first year I had it, I used it maybe 2 times, and then so the next season came up, and so we're going camping, and I mean, you say Dutch oven, everybody thinks peach cobbler. So we was camping, and I started making the peach cobbler, and Jenny started videoing it, and I'm like, stop a minute and let me tell people how to do it. And this is how Outdoor Cooking with Al started, and we've been putting a video on YouTube every week since then. The Dutch oven, I mean, the thing about what we do is it's easy Dutch oven. It's when I first got my Dutch oven, I thought you'd need to know a lot of stuff and how many briquettes to put on and this and that and the other, but it's pretty simple once you get going. It's been good. It gives us something to look forward to. We get out and cook all this delicious food, and it's good times.
Cool. See Booger 500 US hopped on. Welcome, Booger. I always feel weird saying that. Welcome, Booger.
Yeah.
All right. So Christy from Christie's Cooking Channel asked me to ask you what your favorite camping sites are and why.
Favorite camping sites. I guess it depends because I really don't have a favorite. I mean, there are so many good camping sites here in Utah. I mean, it's beautiful. We go in Zion's National Park, Arches National Park, right up the road from us in Big and Little Cottonwood Canyon. There's a lot of campgrounds. So I don't know if I really have a favorite camping site, but they all have their own unique thing, and we have cabin in the Uintas. So I don't know if I really have a favorite, but one thing that sticks out in my mind, we went to Arches, which is in Moab, southern Utah, in October, and it's real warm down there, and we were cooking with shorts, and good time. It was fun. So yeah, Christy, I don't know if I have a favorite, but yeah, as long as I'm pitching a tent and cooking in the outdoors, everything's good.
All right, I missed somebody that hopped on here. Greg McCutcheon, welcome. Brian from Brino's World. He's a couple hours south of me. Welcome. And Kent Van de Weird wants to know, what is your best Dutch oven recipe, and will he share with a Dutchman?
What is my best Dutch oven recipe? Well, yeah, I love to share. We've done so much cooking in the Dutch oven. I don't know if I really have a best Dutch oven recipe. One recipe that does stick out in my mind is spaghetti and meatballs, and I think about it, and Jenny thinks about it all the time, and I love it, and it has such good flavor because it's just you put everything all in, cook it. It's just a one batch thing. So, but I mean, there's all kinds of everything just turns out so good in the Dutch oven. I'll be glad to, yeah, Sharon's good, and the Chris. Like I said last week, I have my cookbook here, Outdoor Cooking with Al. Last week I said anybody that wants one of these, I have like 31 recipes in here, breakfast, desserts, dinners, and stuff. Message me on YouTube, but I'll make it easier. I should have done this last week. Just email me at outdoorcookingwithal@gmail.com. I'll send you this out. You cook something, maybe you mention my name. And yeah, I love collaborating, but yeah, I don't know if I have a favorite recipe to share or not. So
That's good. All right, so I see Eddie Smith Living Life hopped on. He asked what your favorite dish was whilst we were talking about what your favorite dish was. So Chris Jarkow says, tell him to try Dutch oven madness recipe for Alice Springs chicken. That's his favorite. I don't know if you've happened to try that or not.
I haven't tried the Ellis chicken, no, but I'm just kind of looking at my cookbook. We've done so many videos and stuff, and like I said, we're coming up. I think in May it will be 2 years, and I think the whole time, like I said, we've been doing a video once a week. Every Sunday was what we was doing, and we have a little over 100. I think we've scrapped 2 videos in that time. So where the food didn't turn out. But there's chili verde, chili cornbread, chicken cordon bleu. I mean, even the desserts, all this easy stuff. It's good stuff. And we even pop popcorn, which is fun. And it surprised me. The flavor, it's just like kettle corn. So there's nothing you can't do in the Dutch oven.
Right. Bloody Ring Ranch hopped on, cooking green bastard style. I think the answer is scrodi, but somebody else in the chat can correct me, and I'm not going to reiterate what he typed. So where'd he go? Quest Hunter at our Shack Barbecue. You talked about some things that were fails. He specifically wanted to know what things that you've had that failed and maybe a little backstory on it.
Well, the one that sticks out in my mind, we is making this artisan bread. You know, you go to the grocery store. I don't know if you have Smith's or Kroger's grocery store or whatever, but they make these artisan loaf breads with olives and all this good garlic and everything in it. And so during the video, I had to knead the dough I kneaded it for like 8 minutes, and I'm talking, and this is like good, good footage. It's a long time. But we put too much seasoning in it. So when we cooked it and I tasted it, the taste test didn't work out too good. So we just scrapped it. Another one was called, I can't remember, Toads in a Blanket or something, where it was some weird breakfast dish. Didn't work out too good. But other than that, everything's turned out great, We just look at recipes, kind of make recipes our own. A lot of them are just your home cooking recipes, French toast, you can make that in the Dutch oven, about everything you can make in the oven, you just transform it to the Dutch oven temperature and just make it your own style. So it's been fun doing that. And the thing I like about it is everything's under the lid while it's cooking. So you get this surprise when you lift the lid up and see what's under there, because it's pretty cool.
All right, so I see Heavy Metal Barbecue's in here, and he had asked me to get Azrael's Pit Barbecue on a future hot seat, and he's agreed. And I'm trying to look through my calendar because I talked to him the other day, And I believe we've agreed on March 1st. Chris, if I'm wrong there, make a comment and I'll try to fix that here. But something to look forward to the future. Guy is really knowledgeable on explaining stuff to people barbecue wise. Scott wants to know, I wonder what Chris would look like with Al's hair. I don't know that my hair has been longer than 2 inches in my entire life, except maybe when I was a kid. It would be interesting. All right.
Yeah, so let me ask you barbecue people, Chris, let me ask you guys a question. When you light your briquettes, do any of you use like fluid, or what do you use, or what's the best secret? Or, you know, you use fluid, you get the taste on your food when you're barbecuing. I mean, give me your one up on that.
So for the last 8 months, I've been using a propane torch. Just one of those, I don't know, they're about yay big around and yay tall with the thing. You squeeze it and it goes.
Right.
Sometimes I'll use one of those, it looks like a little mouse nest thing. I don't know what it's made out of, but I haven't used any kind of lighter fluid in a long time. Now, you know, Barlow just made a comment. He uses wax starter cubes. I don't know that there's a right answer, and maybe when I have Chris on there, he can break the science down to it. But I've heard people say, yeah, I can taste it. Other people say no. I don't have that distinguishable of a palate.
Right.
So I don't know. There's so many different things in barbecue. You know, people use newspaper at the bottom of the Weber chimney. There's a million things, and everybody has their, I use this binder. I don't use a binder. I use this rub. I don't use this rub. At the end of the day, my personal opinion, and I'm not trying to create a controversy here, you're cooking for the people and you're at your house 99% of the time. Do what they like, and you're going to be a winner.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've used the charcoal lighter fluid a lot, because I mean, that's how I grew up. That's what my dad used. So maybe I didn't know, but I've had people comment, what are you using that for? Or why are you using that? It makes food taste terrible. And then I'm thinking, well, 80% of the food I cook's in the Dutch oven. So the coals aren't like right on the food, but I understand what they're doing. So I want to try different ways to light the charcoal that I cook with, just to kind of see.
Oh, I created this shitstorm in the commentary, which I love, actually. Somebody else made a comment. Meathead says they make these electric fire starters. I don't know. Personal opinion, I would say if you're putting it in a Dutch oven, you probably don't have any issues. It's really not that hard to stack briquettes, even if you don't have a fire starter, to put one of those little wax cubes or one of those mouse things under it. Thanks for bringing the controversy, Al. I love it.
Yeah, well, we shot my last video, we made them chicken hot wings on Sunday, and so I used a fuel cube. You know, it wasn't lighter fluid, that's made by Camp Made, you know, and it worked good, and the wings were awesome, you know, and I couldn't tell no smoke. Versus, I don't know, I never done it with like fluid. So I just thought I'd kind of give you the question for a minute and kind of see how you guys feel.
Well, but the other thing that I don't have probably any experience is I think KBB makes a briquette that has some kind of lighter fluid pressed into it. But I'm sure somebody's going to say you can taste it in that too. I don't know. I've never used them.
Right.
All right. I think the shitstorm has calmed down. So
the shitstorm.
Bologna Ring Wrench uses diesel. It's not what he said, but I'm going to pin that on Jeff because it's fun. All right. So how long ago did you start your channel?
It was, like I said, it was probably May. So this May it will be 2 years. I'll just kind of I'll talk for a little bit and kind of tell you guys a little bit about how we started, what we've experienced through all this and everything. But we started on that cookout with making the peach cobbler, and we're just like, yeah, this was fun. So we're just like, yeah, let's get a YouTube channel. Let's put a video on every week. And so we done that. And this was in May. And so we just cook. And through that summer, we cooked and stuff. And then on Black Friday, I was at Sportsman's Warehouse, and I was in there, and I met the owner of Camp Made Products, which is the flip grill, which I use to cook the chicken wings on. They have Dutch ovens. I'm sure all of you guys have seen all their stuff. So they endorsed me. They gave me like $500 worth of products. So I do videos. I mean, even today I do videos using their product, and they post it. I have my own link on campmade.com, outdoor cooking with Al. So it's good. So that was fun. So I'm still doing that with Camp Made. They actually shipped us to Pennsylvania last year. Actually, the Great American Outdoor Show is going on right now, but we was there last year, slinging Dutch ovens. So for Camp Made, good experience. Another company, this was just happened a couple months ago. It's called Papa Fred's Magic Grate. It's like a grate that goes in your Dutch oven that turns the Dutch oven into a barbecue. And so I done a video, and we're going to do a second video, and it's another good collaboration where they send us some product. We're going to try it. We're going to put it in our videos. Another one was these two kids. They're called Wolfram sticks. They're like barbecue sticks. You wrap a biscuit on the end of and then it has a spinner. It's like a weenie roaster where you're roasting marshmallows, but you bake a biscuit. So it's been good, and these people have found us on YouTube. So they're just searching, and so I love collaborating with YouTube. I got introduced to YouTube when I got hooked up with Camp Made. They told me about Bill Gowdy, which is endorsed by Camp Made also. So I hooked up with him, and through the channels, I linked up with, Christy, and then Christy referred me to your Facebook page, YouTube Cooks, and, and then we done the poutine challenge. I think it's awesome. I love doing all this other stuff with all these other cooks. And the one, to mention the poutine challenge, what I loved about that, and after watching everybody's videos, is everyone was different. Everybody's video was totally different. And out of 12 guys, that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool.
Right. Christy, actually, right before you mentioned Bill Gowdy's name, asked, has he ever met Bill Gowdy?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, cheers, Bill Gowdy, but I don't have Busch Light, but it's light beer. But yeah, I've never met Bill Gowdy. Yeah, I talked to him, through YouTube, I'm sure, like all you other guys do. So yeah, I like watching his videos. I watch all your guys' videos that I done the poutine challenge with. And, when I first got introduced to YouTube, I mean, Bill Gowdy was probably one of the first ones I went to because I related him with Camp Made. And then I found, Survival Mindset's another channel that I got turned on to, Survival Preacher, Christy, and then we branched off, and like I said earlier, I met your face group. And so I've been watching Scott and all you other Canadians and everybody that participated making the good old French fry dish. That was good. I heard we was talking about making apple pie or something, but I haven't heard something for a couple weeks. So
yeah, Scott, get on that. Circle up your country and figure out what we're making. Saw Bill Gowdy not Bill Gowdy. God damn it. Mr. Mega Fred Zeppelin hopped on, and Roundhouse Ranch Barbecue. There was a question up here somewhere. Not sure if this is related to you. How did you get on Park City Television?
Park City Television, that's another thing with Camp Made. And Camp Made hooked me up. And so after I was with them a couple months, they're like, would you like to go on Park City TV? We've been on there. So the owner, Ken Yoakum, he's been on there promoting his product. And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I went up there and checked out the channel, and this was in January of 2017. I went there my first time, and ever since I've been going back once a month. So it's pretty cool. Cooking on live TV, it's kind of nervous. I've had a couple times where stuff I wasn't sure was going to get done. One time something did not get done. We was making biscuits and gravy. It just wouldn't heat up quick enough. It was too cold outside, so we had to kind of wing it and fake it like it was done. It was still good. It was still steamy. It still just needed to cook a little bit longer. So the Park City TV is all through Camp Made, and it's so fun to go cook on live TV. It's like it's a different experience than cooking in the backyard. So
excuse me. Roundhouse Ranch Barbecue wants to know Harley or metric.
Harley.
All right, make sure I didn't miss anything.
Harley.
All right, so what do you use to record your videos?
We use Jenny's iPhone. That's all we've used ever since day one. We've talked about getting maybe some cameras or stuff, but that's all we use. And we use iPhoto to edit, and that's it. There's hardly any editing going on. I mean, what you see is what you get. Sometimes there's some bloopers, and I say cut, but we still leave them in the video sometimes because it's funny. So,
all right, so Mr. Mega Fred Zeppelin wants to know his typical question: what are some of your favorite bands?
my all-time favorite band would probably be Rush. The reason why I'm a musician, I play bass, is because of Kiss. I was a Kiss freak in the 70s, but there's so many good bands out there. I mean, we're going to see Foreigner, Whitesnake here in a couple months here in Utah. You know, I grew up in the 80s. I love the 80s, the 70s, 90s. So that's cool.
All right, so I'm going to spin that question. Give me one group from the 70s, one from the 80s, one from the 90s.
One group from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Okay, 70s. That was would be like Led Zeppelin. 80s, like some hair band, probably like Motley Crue or Poison. And then 90s, I don't know, Soundgarden, stuff like that.
See, I just so right now want to ask you what your favorite gangster rap group is.
Yeah, I don't know if I could answer that one, Chris, but yeah. Yeah, another thing, yeah. Music is good. Music's cool. Love it.
All right, I didn't miss anything. So what cookers do you have? Or probably in your case, which cast iron do you have is probably a better question.
Yeah, cookers. I mean, my channel's Outdoor Cooking with Al, 80% or maybe even 90% Dutch oven. I do have videos on there using my Traeger smoker. I do some campfire cooking. Most of it's on Dutch ovens. I have my Camp Chef griddle too, and I love to cook on that. I bought me an electric smoker. I think you posted it. You seen it at Home Depot. It was like $20 for this master build electric smoker, and you couldn't buy it because Mrs. Hobo would get mad. Well, I bought it. So, so I haven't tried that out. So we're going to try that out. But yeah, but it's interesting. My channel is a ton of Dutch oven videos and a little bit of miscellaneous stuff. So I was kind of looking. My number one video is biscuits and gravy. And it's like the simple biscuits and gravy. I use canned biscuits. People have cussed at me, made rude comments. I use packaged gravy. I cook sausage. It has like 69,000 views. My second place video is like a garbage hash cooked on my Camp Chef griddle thing. But then since I got so many nasty comments because I used all that fake stuff to cook the first biscuits and gravy, we done one with homemade scratch biscuits all the way from scratch. So if people comment because I'm using fake stuff, then I just give them the link to the real one. So life is good.
The thing people have to understand is there's people that enjoy doing things from scratch, and then there's people like me who are lazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I'm just simplifying. And, we all get negative comments, all the time. Some of them are funny. Some, I just kind of got to laugh and blow it off and just say, thanks for watching. Thanks for your comment. Have a great day.
Thought I missed a question here. Sorry. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. So I got home that day and showed her the picture of that cooker, and she looked at me and goes, "Why didn't you buy it?"
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I seen it and it was such a good buy. I'm like, okay, it's electric. You just plug it in, but that's okay. You got to put your wood chips in there. I mean, you can cook some pretty cool stuff in here. I actually tried it. I lit it up and tried to get it up, but I couldn't get it hotter than 200 degrees here a few months ago because it was so cold, and it's just that thin body of that thing. So we'll wait till it gets a little warmer. But yeah, I was eyeballing that, and I guess I was lucky, Chris, because Jenny was with me at the Home Depot the day I bought it, so I got approval right off the bat.
All right, so Dan from Smoky Goodness says, does Al know Pecos Hank? They look like twin brothers.
I don't know Pecos Hank. I'd like to meet him, though. Where's Pecos Hank from?
We'll have to do some Google searching. Somebody give me some data in the commentary. All right, so who taught you how to cook?
Well, I learned to cook at a young age. Growing up, I was the oldest kid in the family. My mom was a single parent raising us, so we had to cook a lot for ourselves, which I don't feel bad about. It's good. I loved it, and I cooked in the kitchen. I remember making cakes and all kinds of stuff. So I guess I was self-taught since I was a young kid, and I've always loved cooking. We've always had barbecues at the house, always putting on big spreads for all kinds of people, and this Dutch oven thing just adds the next step to it. And I love it, and it's sharing with everybody on YouTube and sharing it and getting all the comments and the feedback, and what's so cool. And I've had this happen, not a ton of times, but a bunch, people have watched my videos and asked me questions, and I've gave them enough confidence to cook something in the Dutch oven. And then they cook something and then send me their video. And I'm just like, that's the best feeling in the world. They cooked in the Dutch oven for the first time because they was watching the video, and they're like, yeah, we can do this, and then you just get going. Like I said earlier, it's not that hard. Dutch ovens are very forgiving. So you just try it and everything's good. So
I think one of the biggest things that I see is people are afraid of the maintenance, or what they think is the perceived maintenance.
Right. So the maintenance, and that's another thing, and recently the cast iron is very easy to clean. If your food starts sticking, everybody knows this, you just re-season it, oil it, put it in the oven and re-season it. And another thing on that, I've had cast iron skillets, and they've always been in my camp bin, but recently I just cook in them all the time. The cast iron, it makes everything taste so good, and it's easy to clean. If the stuff's seasoned right, it's just water, just wipe it out, give it a little bit of oil, store it for next time. It's not that hard. So.
All right, so Mr. Mega Fred Zeppelin wants to know what your favorite thing to barbecue is.
What's my favorite thing to barbecue? Well, probably the thing I barbecue the most is probably just the American, hamburgers and hot dogs, stuff like that. But I do a lot on the smoker. I probably haven't lit my barbecue up for probably over a year. I have a little Traeger smoker, which they work great. I love slow cooking on that. I mean, anything, chicken, pork, or even we barbecued those chicken wings on Sunday on that thing. I mean, barbecue's great. Anything on the barbecue's good.
Booger. Well, let me take a step back. Lewis, who's Quest Hunter at our Shack Barbecue, says he's got a copycat chicken cordon bleu video coming out next week.
That sounds good. Lewis hit me up for my cookbook. Thanks, Lewis. Thanks. The chicken cordon bleu. That is one of the videos that we made when outdoor cooking with Al, the one that's on my YouTube when we first got started. And it was just like, I couldn't believe how good that was. That was like A+ restaurant food. and we done campfire asparagus. I mean, it was just like, this is the best thing ever, and it's easy. I mean, it's easy. So yeah, Lewis, I look forward to watching your video and seeing your take on it, the chicken cordon bleu.
All right. Booger wrote me something in Canadian here that I have to try to translate. Al, do you use those cast iron liner thingies, and do you stack them on top for multiple cooking thingies? So I think what she's asking is if you use the cast iron condoms.
Yeah.
I don't get the second question.
Yeah, the only time so far that I've used a Dutch oven liner is with a couple desserts. They still cook up nice. I've made some dump cakes and stuff like that, just using the parchment paper, and it goes in there and it makes the Dutch oven clean up. But yeah, I've used them a few times. And what was the second part of the question, Booger? I'm sorry. Yes, I do use the liners. And no, I've never stacked the Dutch oven, but it looks cool. So I need to get a recipe where I can cook two things and stack them. So if you have any ideas, let me know. Because yeah.
Yeah. I think Fred came in late and he missed your answer of what musical instrument do you play?
I play the bass guitar. So I've been playing bass, I don't know, 30 plus years. Played in all kinds of different bands, rock, country, all kinds of cover bands, original bands. Been to Hollywood, done the Hollywood scene, tried that, didn't make that. But yeah, good times. I'm not.
All right, Johnny, Texas Style Cuisine just hopped on. He's late to the show. There was a question up here somewhere. So Booger wants you to make a video where you do all that stacking so she can watch it. And Kent Vanderweerd wants to know if you stole Barlow's beard color for the interview.
Yeah, okay, Booger. I'm going to research because I want to stack some Dutch ovens because I think I have like 7. That would be pretty cool. But you got to get your temperature too. So the thing is to figure out your temperature because the heat rises. So we'll do that. Barlow and his beard color, maybe he rubbed off on me. I don't know.
So I think if I remember right, I'm sure you probably know Cowboy Kent Rollins, not personally, but know his channel. I think he had a couple videos showing that stacking and explaining the temperature differentials with all that stuff.
Right. Yeah. I've watched his channel. I kind of got turned away from him because a guy like compared me to him and like gave me a pretty negative, kind of like chewed my ass and told me that I didn't have any right being on YouTube because I wasn't Cowboy Kent Rollins and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So but yeah, I'll have to check his out. And so, what I do is, I do what I do. You don't like it, you don't have to watch, but give me a comment, even if it's bad.
That's one thing. So I just had my 500 subscriber video and I asked everybody, what do you like about the channel? And like I mentioned earlier, that guy Chris left a comment that was kind of very telling for me. And that's one of those things is you're never going to make everybody happy. And me and a couple people were talking about this earlier today is that, as you grow, you exponentially open yourself up for hate.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They're always out there, and it's just every time I open up like a negative comment, it kind of makes me want to just comment back in the same way that they're commenting to me. But then I just kind of like, no, let's just be calm, At least they watched the video and they gave the comment, and so I just reply in a good manner, and maybe it pisses them off. Maybe they'll watch me again. Maybe they won't. It is what it is. So.
Right. All right. So what's a weekday meal look like at your house?
A weekday meal is usually I'll get off work and text Jenny, what do you want? What do you want to eat? we actually were empty nesters. The boys moved out like 2 weeks ago, so it's totally changed. We cook. We had spaghetti today. Jenny made up spaghetti. In the summertime, we cook outside. So now that it's winter, I mean, I don't do a lot of cooking outside because by the time I get home, it's dark. But, you know, it's always outdoor cooking, all kinds of good stuff.
And if Jenny at any point wants to hop on here and say hi, she's more than welcome to.
Yeah, Jenny, she's out in the party house. She's out in the second house in the backyard. I think she's watching us on the big screen TV because she knew you'd say that, Chris, and she doesn't want to get on screen.
I seen her the other day when we did the group chat.
Yeah, so when we do the group chat again, let's do that again. Yeah, and I'm sure she'll be on that. But yeah, she's just chilling out there, out back. It's like a second guest house. It's just like a one room little house in our backyard. I have the TV and a beer fridge. You got to have the beer fridge, and then yeah, she's just chilling out there watching the show.
Actually, if I remember right, all I saw was this of her. It was like Kilroy looking over the fence because the way the camera was set up.
Yeah. That was fun. That chat doing that was fun. So yeah, it's all good.
All right, so I see Robert Roy Marion hopped on. He was in the hospital the other day. Hope he's okay. Obviously he is if he's watching my show, because I can't imagine anybody's last will in life is to watch the hot seat. So he must be doing better.
Yeah, I seen that picture of him in the hospital. So yeah, right on, brother.
And Scooter Too Cool hopped on. Welcome, sir. All right, this is one of my favorite questions to ask. What's your favorite video you have made and why?
What is my favorite video I've made? Man, that's like I have a ton of videos.
See why it's my favorite question?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that pops out in my mind going on like camping and holidays and stuff like that is we were down in Moab and it was around Halloween time, and so we wanted to do witch's brew. So this is going to be cool. So we get in the campground and we set up, and so I start the fire and get the tripod set up, and we made a witch's brew over the fire. It was like a lentil soup with ham, and then we had beer bread, Dutch oven beer bread on the side. And what was cool about that is there were all these kids in the backgrounds because they're like, what the heck are these people doing? And so they're like in the bushes and stuff watching this like, hey, what's going on? And then after the video, we went over to their camp and talked to the parents and stuff. But that one sticks out in my mind. But I mean, outdoor cooking, I mean, I love it. I mean, we go to so many different places and cook. We're going to Colorado next weekend. We're driving the car down there. We're going to do some hot springs, go visit a couple of hot springs, but we're going to do some outdoor cooking down there. We're going to some other hot springs. Jenny and I are hot spring junkies. So the thing about it, you know, we just travel around and have fun.
All right, so I'm assuming Jenny made this comment, says, tell him bacon wrapped hot dogs.
Tell him bacon wrapped hot dogs. This is the funniest thing because it got banned from Utah. I'm not from Utah. That's from YouTube. So we're at our cabin and we're making these bacon wrapped hot dogs. And so I'm starting roasting them, and I slit the hot dog, put cheese in the middle, wrapped it with bacon and stuff. And as we're cooking it, the cheese is running. It looks like somebody's private part, and so stuff's dripping out of the end, and so they banned my video from like 32 countries, and so we had to pull it off the air. But it was so funny, and when we shot the video, I have the link, Chris. I had to pull it out and I'll just send it to you private and you can watch it. But the cheese is just dripping off the end and we're just cracking up. But yeah, Jenny probably sent that. I think she sent me a text message too. But yeah, the bacon wrapped hot dogs, they banned it from YouTube.
You're more than welcome after the show's over. Make a comment down below. and put that link in there, and I will
Yeah.
approve it. Just give me
Yeah.
about a couple minutes after you send it. It's gonna go straight to spam.
Yeah. So it was good. So I need to do a new video of bacon wrapped hot dogs. But if you haven't done bacon wrapped hot dogs, try it. But make sure you put cheese in the middle.
All right. Greg McCutcheon wants to know your favorite oil to season with, cast iron with.
My favorite oil. I've kind of been researching that too. In the 2 years I've been doing this, I've kind of been reaching out because I didn't know how to reseason a Dutch oven 2 years ago. What do you do? So I've used canola oil. I've used just the Camp Chef conditioner, and then Crisco. So I'm just kind of weighing my options, and they've all gave me good results.
All right. Lewis, Quest Hunter at Our Shack Barbecue, wants to know what's Al's real job.
What's Al's real job? I do drywall and paint. 80% of my work is I'm a sub for a restoration company where I do flood repair. Somebody has a flood. They go tear out all the wet drywall, and then I go put it all back together, paint it, and make their house a house again. So I'm just a one-man crew. I'm my own boss, and it's cool. So yeah, that's what I do.
All right. KB hopped on. I'm like way behind on the chat, guys. So if I miss something, I apologize. KB says, or hopped on here, says, what's up?
What's up, KB?
Where'd the question go? Oh, Mr. Mega Fred Zeppelin wants to know, have you ever been to the Potato Museum in Blackfoot, Idaho?
I have never been to the Potato Museum, but I see the sign all the time. We have a house in Lava Hot Springs, Idaho, which is, just south 20 miles ish or so. But I need to go to the Potato Museum for sure. Yeah. Yes, I do.
So for those who don't know what the Potato Museum is, like myself, if you can give any kind of help here, have at it.
Okay. I'll give you. So it's Idaho is famous for their potatoes. Idaho potatoes are famous. So they can grow some pretty good potatoes in Idaho. Like I said, Jenny and I, we have a home in Lava Hot Springs. And so some of the videos you see, we're shooting there at our house, but it's beautiful up there, country living. So when I go to the Potato Museum, and I'll do that, I'll do a video, and we'll do like a tour of the Potato Museum in Blackfoot. Love it. Thanks for that question.
All right, so Robert Roy wants to know, who's your favorite celebrity chef and why?
Who's my favorite celebrity chef? I don't really know how to answer that. I watch a few cooking shows. I don't know if any names stick in my mind. I really don't know how to answer that. There's a ton of chefs out there. What I do is, I guess I'm unprepared for that question. I don't know.
So I think what he's getting at is Hobo Nichol BBQ is his favorite celebrity chef.
Okay, Hobo Nichol. Okay, got ya. So everybody in this chat rooms, yeah, it's all good. Let's all collaborate together. We're all good chefs. I'd rather watch the stuff we do, Chris, is real.
Right.
The stuff in the studio, it's cool. I'd love to be in the studio cooking, and I get the experience when I go on Park City TV. It's kind of like that, but I go up there and I do my thing. It's just me, promote myself at Park City. It's not like these chefs that are making a ton of money, but everything we do and everybody in this chat room, what you see is what you get. That's what you get when you watch my videos. So
you think it's harder to make a YouTube video or to be on the TV show?
I think it's harder to be on the TV show for the fact that I'm nervous about if what I'm cooking is going to be done, because we're just set to a certain time. There's some times where we're like doing the taste test and it's just like, okay, this is outdoor cooking with Al, bam, and the show's over. So I've kind of adapted to that, where I wouldn't start my briquettes until we was filming on TV or whatever. But lately, you know, the live TV, if they're not ready for me, but I need to get my calls going, then I just start them, and then we just kind of make stuff work from there. You know, when we do videos, Jenny and I, we sit down, we figure out what we're going to do, what we're going to cook, what we're going to shoot. You know, okay, let's do that. A couple times, you know, it doesn't work out what I say, or we laugh, but I mean, doing the YouTube videos, it's like everyday business for me. It's fun. So
Right. All right. So I'm not going to name names. I was talking to somebody today, and they script out their intro. And I'm curious if any part of your thing has an actual written script that you work loosely off of, or is it all? I made a reply picture back that says, "What's up, YouTube? Hobo Nichol BBQ back with you again," and then parentheses says freestyle the rest.
yeah. Yeah, I don't script anything. I mean, probably a lot of times when I open a video, I might say the same thing. And, you know, all my videos, I close it out where I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you next time. But I don't really script it. I mean, scripting a little bit, you know, Jenny and I talk, okay, let's do this. Okay, let's shoot this part on video, but we don't need that on video. Okay, we're going to shoot this, but you're not going to talk. We're just going to take it. Nobody's going to say nothing. So I guess that's a little bit of scripting, but you know, that's the fun part of it. So, you know, everybody likes the same thing. So Chris, you know, your opening thing, maybe that's what everybody's, you know, here's Chris Hobo Nichol BBQ. They hear that, they're not even watching it, but if they hear that, they're okay, I know that, you know, familiar, but I don't know.
It's funny because every once in a while I'll pull a video up and Christina, aka Mrs. Hobo's kids, will be watching, and they'll hear that and they'll just lock right in for 30 seconds.
Yeah. See, because everybody familiarizes that, you know, and so, you know, everything's good. Scripting's good. So,
all right. So Christy says she doesn't script because, wait a minute, script? I'd have to read it off my iPad. Can't remember anything. And Booger says nothing planned here. Jenny says not much planning, LOL. I love the fact that I've got both of you here, but not both of you here.
yeah, that's cool. She's up there commenting. Yeah, so yeah, she's up there having a good time. But yeah, scripting, you know, I don't know if we do script. I mean, we just plan it out. Okay, let's do this, and we're going to film this part of the segment, and here's the end. So,
Baloney Ring Rant says Keith Bettag writes all of his material, which I know is not true because there's not enough curse words in Jeff's material. All right. The funniest thing that's happened while recording that we never saw after editing.
the funniest thing. Say that one more time, Chris.
The funniest thing that has happened while recording that we never saw after you edited your video.
Oh man.
And Jenny, feel free to type over on the comments.
Yeah, Jenny, if you can remember, I'm trying to because I don't know. You know, I've been known to say some pretty funny stuff in the videos. We usually let everything slide. I don't know if there's ever been anything in like the background or anything going on that we haven't noticed. So nothing really pops out in my mind. One thing, but then again, maybe Jenny knows. Yeah, Al, you done that. You know, that was, you know, whatever. So
well, we'll come back to it. How's that?
Jenny, yeah, that works.
Circle around. So Fred asks, do you ever go to Pocatello or Idaho Falls?
Pocatello, yes, I go to Pocatello. Not all the time, but you know, we're Lava Hot Springs, Idaho. I'll give you guys is about 2.5 hours north of Salt Lake City. And Jenny and I are going to move there. We should be up there full time within 6 months. I'm guessing we're moving from the city to go live in the country. So we do frequent Pocatello a little bit when we're up there in the past, but when we move there full time, I mean, we'll probably be going up in there to shop at Costco once a month at least. I'm guessing Idaho Falls, we passed through there, headed to Yellowstone, or yeah, beautiful country. Love Idaho.
So how'd you end up with the two different places?
The two different places, we went to Lava Hot Springs all the time. Would go there in the winter. They have the hot pools. It's just a little hot spring town. Their population is like 400, and we just loved it. And we found this house, and we bought the house that we have up there in 2012 because we knew that's where we wanted to be. So it's just been like a weekend home. We just get up there whenever we can. But now the kids are moved out. They're on their own. It's doing good. So I've lined up my work up there out of Pocatello, and yes, we'll move up to the country.
All right, I'm gonna have to ask a couple meathead questions because he's got a bunch of them at the end of my permanent list, and I don't want to have meathead. What's your dream job?
My dream job would be, well, it used to be like a rock star, but that's kind of out the window. So I guess what I would love to do is just cook, just travel around and cook and have some kind of show to back me where every week, I was just going around cooking and, enjoying the outdoors and having a good time. Maybe that's not a real job, but that sounds pretty fun to me.
Hey, when the question gets asked openly, you get to answer it however you want.
Yeah.
All right, Christy's cooking channel question that made it to the permanent list like 20 episodes ago. What's the best thing and the worst thing you've ever cooked?
The best thing and the
Not
worst
necessarily
thing.
on your channel, just in life.
Right. Yeah. The best thing I have ever cooked. Well, there's a lot that I've cooked, but going off maybe not Dutch oven stuff, but those steaks they have at Costco, they're like this thick on the Traeger smoker. Delicious, just juicy ribeye steaks. I love that, and I mean even as simple as cooking a hot dog for the grandkids. But that doesn't, that's cool. The worst thing, I don't know. I don't know what the worst thing would be, Chris. Yeah, I burnt the wiener on the fire that one time. I don't know.
I want to say what's up to Double J Barbecue. He just swung in. All right, another meathead question. I'm going to do the other meathead question first. Who would be your Mount Rushmore if you could pick 4 people?
Who would be my Mount Rushmore if I could pick 4 people?
Doesn't have to be political. It could be anybody in the world.
Okay. Well, Jenny would probably be the first person. My mom, my dad, and then I guess my kids would have to group up in the last 4 and make one. So
yeah, I'm not going to ask you to pick one.
Yeah. So yeah. Jenny's number 1. I'm my mom, and then my dad. Bless his soul, he's gone. But yeah, family's number 1. Family and friends, making memories. That's what I like.
All right. So if anybody has any last minute questions, start piling them in the commentary because I got just a couple left on my sheet. 3 channels you watch. I love this question because it screws everybody up.
Screws everybody.
3 channels you watch, 1 big, 1 small, and 1 you think should be much bigger than they currently are.
1 big and 1 small, huh? Well, when I get on YouTube, like I said, I watch Bill Gowdy, I watch Christy. I don't know how to Bill Gowdy, he's up there in the subscribers. Survival mindset. Everybody's so diverse, a lot of people that don't have big numbers in subscribers, like the people that we done the poutine challenge. I mean, I'm at like 1,600, but some of them are like 300, but we're all we're all brothers, you know. The numbers is numbers, but I don't really know how to relate to a big number, a small number channel. So I like to support everybody, and I hope everybody, you know, you watch me, give me a comment, or just watch my video. You know, it's all good. You know, numbers are good. We're all building. You know, I'm going on 2 years. You know, I don't know anybody's out. You know, I checked out all the guys that we've done that challenge with. You know, some of them were at 200, some of them were at 500. You know, I remember when I was at 300. You know, I made a video. I'm at 300 subscribers. Well, that feels good. You know, you don't need to look at anybody else's number, and I think it just takes time. And the thing that makes numbers is us all collaborating together too, which is good. You know, I seen you from here. I got sent over from Hobo Nichol BBQ, sent me to your page. You know, it's good stuff. So I guess that's my answer. Maybe it didn't make sense the way he wanted it, but
It works. I run a very loose ship here.
yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes looser than others. Speaking of hitting a number, I want to give a shout out to In for the Grill. He just passed 200. Was it yesterday? 2 days ago? I was at 210 last I looked. Congratulations, Scott. And Kent Vanderweerd wants to know, Al, what's your best cast iron tip? You there, Al? Is it me? One of us is locked up, and I don't know who it is. Somebody in the commentary, let me know if you can still hear me talking. Hello? He gone. All right, so it must be Al. All right. What do I do now? It's normally me that disappears. So much stress. What to do? I'm gonna give him a minute to see if he can hop on. Start asking me a couple questions. What do you want to know about Hobo Nichol that isn't gonna be when Everyday Barbecue and Barlow starts grilling me? Mike says entertain us. And Al's gone to Icon. Will he come back? The chat asked me, what's your next video going to be? All right, Scott, I can answer that. Tomorrow I am doing a pizza on the Smoky Joe, the Weber Smoky Joe that I got, because I cannot for the life of me figure out why there's not one out there. So that's what we're going to do. Christy wants to know, can you sing? No. Dan Smoky Goodness, has the color returned yet? Yes, Dan, the color has returned. That's why we're making the video tomorrow. Quest Hunter at our Shack Barbecue asked the same question. Scott wants to know what I'm drinking tonight. Ezra Brooks and Diet Squirt. Where'd you get that microphone? Best Buy. Don't have a banjo, Jeff. Can't do that. Bust out gangster rap. Oh, he's back. I freestyled long enough.
I'm just like, what do I do? Where did I go? So I just started from Facebook and hit the link again. So
This guy, you have a pet.
Jenny's on.
Yeah, I have a pet. She's mad because I didn't say we have a cat named Cosmo. I don't know if he'll like this, but come here, Cosmo. There we go.
That's our baby.
This is our baby now, Cosmo. Huh. You doing good, bro? All right. He doesn't like that.
All right. I appreciate everybody for staying tuned and helping me. You don't rewind later, Al. It wasn't good.
Okay. You guys were all talking behind my back or what?
No, it was a barrage of random questions. Robert Roy wants to, I'm going to answer one last question. What's the size of the curtain behind you? I'm assuming he's asking me. That's a bed sheet, Marion. It's a queen size black bed sheet from Walmart. What did I just miss? Cosmo Q question mark. All right, back to the important stuff. Anybody has any last questions for Al? Ask it now.
So when are we going to do some collaboration, Chris? Are we going to do another Canadian/USA, or maybe East Coast/West Coast, or?
I think we're going to do the. Okay, Joey B hopped on. What's up, Joey B? I think we're waiting for the Canadians to pick a United States dish to do. They're very disjointed at the current time. I blame that on Mrs. Barlow. I'm not going to blame it on Scott, just because I feel like I should pick on Mrs. Barlow for a minute. All right, Scooter Too Cool wants to know what's the most extreme weather you've cooked in.
The most extreme weather, I mean, we've cooked it. It's been snowing and probably 20 degrees in the backyard. So we just when it's that cold, I mean, briquettes don't burn good in the snow. So I just use my fireball or whatever and just cook in the Dutch oven. But yeah, we cook all year round.
All right, Mike Everyday Barbecue wants to know if he was starving and could only pick one meal, what would it be?
No, I'm just teasing. Something to go with that. So probably a cheeseburger. I don't know, but there's a lot better things than cheeseburgers. But
and Mr. Mega Fred Zeppelin wants to know: have you ever been to Craters of the Moon outside of Blackfoot?
Holy smoke, Mega Fred Zeppelin. Craters of the Moon is awesome. I have a couple of videos on my YouTube. Check them out. We done some cooking there last year, and I have a little clip on there where we was like touring the caves and stuff, and there's bats and we didn't actually see bats, but they're like bat caves. But yeah, Craters of the Moon. It's like this, Chris. It's like this big lava field. You're driving, and it's just sagebrush everywhere, and you just come up over this valley, and then it's just all black, like lava flow. I mean, it's like you can look at this lava, and it was like it was flowing, and then it just quit running, but it still looks like it's running. And the campground's like that. I mean, it's cool. So check it out on my YouTube. Yeah, there's Craters of the Moon on there. Love it.
There's a handful of places that I've not been, I'm going to say, as an adult, meaning like over 14. Like I was very lucky as a kid that my dad always took us on a good vacation every year. So I've seen a lot of stuff, but basically North Dakota, South Dakota, and a lot of the Utah area I've not been to. That's on my list of things to do.
Yeah, it's good, and I love going around and cooking in all these places, and we've been to Craters of the Moon twice. We went there for the first time 2 years ago, and they done like lunar training there for the astronauts and stuff. So it's pretty sweet. But yeah, Utah is good. Out this way, South Dakota, North Dakota, that's good country too. Love it.
Well, actually, speaking of Meathead's question, I want to go see Mount Rushmore. My problem's been it's like a day drive, and I can't justify the day drive and the day drive back for that.
Yeah. So how far is it for you to get to South Dakota, Chris? It's like 10 hours from where I'm at.
I'm wanting to say last time I looked, it was like almost literally 24 hours. Let me do a quick Google search whilst we're talking.
Yeah. So you ought to take the trip. Jenny and I, we stay in a campground. It's called Chris's Campground, spelled CHRIS, in Spearfish. And they're awesome, but Mount Rushmore, that's Spearfish is just south of Mount Rushmore. Yeah, it's beautiful there.
It is 17. That can't be 17 days. I'm on walking.
17 days walking to Mount Rushmore.
I was looking at, we went to Cleveland this weekend or last weekend, and I had set everything the walking distance from the hotel. It's 19 hours from here.
19.
Yeah, the car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I guess I could, what the hell is that movie? Somebody made a reference to it earlier. With Tom Hanks and the Jenny thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My mind went blank. Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
All right, we're going to wrap this up as soon as I run out of questions here, which is very quickly. What's the most exotic meat you've ever cooked?
The most exotic meat. I don't know if it's ever on my show. I mean, I don't cook a lot of it, but I'm exotic meat. I mean, like wild game. I mean, I cook deer, pheasant, duck. I haven't cooked. Maybe I ought to try like frog legs or something. I learned that off Bill Gowdy's channel. You can cook frog legs, so they look pretty tasty. But that's about. I don't know. That's it.
And Roundhouse Ranch Barbecue wants to know if you've ever been to Sturgis.
Sturgis is where it all began. I went there in 2002, Chris, and me and my buddy went there. I didn't even have a Harley at the time, and Jenny was there with a bunch of her girlfriends, and that's where we met. So me and my buddy were there for 8 days, and when we left, Jenny and her friends were still staying. So I gave her the CD to my band, my phone number, and my pillow. And then a couple weeks after that, she knocked on my door, and we went back to Sturgis and got married at Rough Lock Falls up Spearfish Canyon in 2009. We've been to Sturgis every year since then, but we skipped last year. Was the first year we skipped. So yes, Sturgis. If you haven't been to Sturgis, go. You don't need a Harley, just go.
That may be the greatest story in hot seat history, and I shit you not.
Yeah. So yeah, Jenny and I met. I lived just south of Salt Lake City, and she lived in Ogden, which was just north of Salt Lake City, and everything's good. So yeah, love it.
Got notified so late. Last words, anything you want to tell people, promote, sell, whatever.
No sell.
Yeah, well, I'm not into sales. I mean, let's just all support everybody. Everybody watch everybody's video. I mean, I'm all about collaboration. Somebody wants to do something, or like I said, I have my cookbook. You want my cookbook? Email me, outdoorcookingwithal@gmail. You use something out of my cookbook, mention me, or let's make friends and just, it's good. It's good. It feels good, and to get working together. So I'm not out to sell anybody anything. If anybody wants to purchase any Campmade product, they can go to campmade.com and put in my promo code AL20 and save 20%. But that's about the sales pitch. That's all you're going to get sales pitch from me. So if you want the flip grill, buy it. Save 20%, put in AL20 when you check out.
All right, I'm going to give Jenny one last shot. If she wants to come on camera, now is your last chance.
Jenny?
I'm waving from the side.
She's waving over there.
Check out Facebook.
Yeah,
I'm shy.
she said check
I'm
out
super
Facebook.
shy.
Let's do a chat, though. Let's do like a chat, and maybe she'll do it. We'll both be in the party house. So.
I'm just a little more shy than I used to be.
Yeah.
Because when we met, I was not so shy.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I tried.
Yeah.
All right, Al, stay on. I'm going to pop off here real quick. Thanks for watching, guys, and we're done. Goodbye.
Thanks, guys.